Hi, good afternoon, and welcome back to the Rocky Mountain Spa and Wellness Association virtual spotlight. Today, I'm excited to introduce to you EpiStep Epidermal Care, brand new Ramosa partner, just joined us last month, and I'm really excited to learn a lot more about this technology. But it's pretty cool because this technology now actually allows spas to offer a non-invasive micro channeling alternative to needling, which we all know is often not offered in our resort spas and hotel spas and strictly med spas up until now. So, this cool new technology in this piece of equipment called the Epipen Pro allows us now to be able to offer this amazing service at our spas. So, I'm sure you're just as intrigued as I am. So let me introduce to you the client care manager and trainer from EpiStep, Miss Jennifer. So without further ado, I'll hand it on over to you.
Hi, Holly. Thank you so much for your introduction and the ability to work together. We're really excited about that. I just wanted to let you know a little bit about my background, maybe. So I grew up in Germany. I'm a born Floridian though, and I did all my schooling there and then also started my career in cosmetics in Germany. And I worked for a company that is developing and producing skincare ingredients. So I have more of a background in the laboratory area and science-based. And that's why I really was all about our EpiStep system and our needle-free needling device because it's very science-based. And then also I'm an esthetician as well, so I can also help with the trainings when it comes to the Epifusion facial in general.
That's amazing. You're a huge asset. I will say.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're all encompassing.
Yes, and I like to share a little bit more about the ingredients with the estheticians, the science things that are behind it that most of the companies do not really share, unfortunately. We always hear the product does this and this, but not really why. So that's where I like to share that kind of information. I think I will just go ahead and share my screen so I can tell you a little bit more about our company as well. So the main umbrella company is Vivari, and Vivari is based out of Queens, New York. We are importing the brand Dr. Grandel from Germany for over 25 years. And we were doing this only in the northeast of the US. But with our EpiStep brand, we are able to go nationwide now. And that's was launched about a year and a half ago. So it's pretty new. And our first, okay, now it's hanging. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And our first system within the EpiStep brand is the Epipen Pro. And with the Epipen Pro, we have the ability to really create microchannels vertically into the epidermis in a non-invasive way to increase absorption and penetration, but also to fill in wrinkles. And the difference is that our needles are 3D-lysed hyaluronic acid. So it basically looks like little tiny pyramids that are made out of hyaluronic acid. And as mentioned before, it's a non-invasive way. There's no downtime. It can be used on all Fitzpatrick's. It is microchanneling and wrinkle filling. And all this is scientifically backed up. The technology behind this is based on microfluidics. And microfluidics has absolutely nothing to do with the beauty industry. It's all laboratory technology where blood flow is measured with a microscope. And in order to do this, there are laser drilling companies that produce teeny tiny holes in those glass plates. And our company or our partner company is specialized in those laser drilling. So the structure of our hyaluronic acid pins is a patented technology, and they all look like these pyramids. So this is called 3D lysation of skincare ingredients. It is customizable, and therefore we have multiple heads that can be used depending on the skin condition that our client has. And it's all untouched neurovascular, which means we only stay in the epidermis. So there will never be any bleeding caused, no inflammation whatsoever, and can be used even on the most sensitive skins that we have to work on. And here you can see the little tiny pyramid. So this is hyaluronic acid, and each of the pins is 0.25 millimeters long. That means we do reach the basal layer, but as I said before, we're never going into the dermis or deeper where we can create any bleeding. And this is how they look like when you look at them closely. On each head that is attached or is going to be attached to a handle, we have 850 of those. And it's approximately 37 grams of hyaluronic acid on each. So this can be evenly distributed into the wrinkles to fill them up. The difference here is we would do channeling first, and that will be dry channeling. So you have to do that on dry skin first, because otherwise the hyaluronic acid already starts to dissolve. So you would do dry channeling first, then you apply a serum, and then you would do a second pass only in the areas of concern, because now with the moisture of the serum that accumulates in the wrinkles, all that hyaluronic acid merges right into that wrinkle, filling it up right away. And these are the different tips that we have so far. We have one for elasticity, one for hydration, one is brightening, and we do have a performance one as well, which is a little bit different. Performance is non-dissolving. It's not made out of hyaluronic acid. It's made out of polylactic acid, just to do microchanneling. But none of these have any fragrance. They have no alcohol, no preservative, and can be combined with any skincare product that you work with. If you have serums that are water-based, colorless, fragranceless, they can definitely be used together with our Epipen Pro device. So there are multiple options. You can treat multiple conditions. Brightening recently became my favorite. It's the perfect red carpet facial, especially when we talk about, going into holidays or certain events. And because there's no downtime, you could do it the day of the event, actually. In the elasticity level pyramid, we have a combination of coenzyme Q10 and plantains oryza active. Oryza is a Mediterranean rice. If you go to a Lebanese or Greek restaurant, a lot of them have that rice. It looks like here in the picture of the actual pod where our head is in. And this rice has a certain rice bran extract that has synergistic effects when you use it together with coenzyme Q10. And this combination has been tested on 20 volunteers over 4 weeks and has shown to increase the fibroblast activity. Therefore, the collagen was stimulated by 133%. Now, when we talk about microchanneling, we always have that collagen production naturally, because it doesn't really matter how deep that microchannel goes into the skin always wants to close any type of even superficial channel that there is created. So over time, we have that collagen created from just closing the channel, but we do also have that additional stimulation from the oryza and coenzyme Q10. And then, of course, the immediate effect is the wrinkle filling effect from the hyaluronic acid that goes into the wrinkle filling it up.
I'm loving
then
yeah. I'm like, can I get this now?
Right?
A few fine lines that are starting to appear this year. I'm not super happy about that.
Yeah, then yes.
Any of them.
Yeah, EpiFusion is definitely helping with this. We have a bunch of before and after pictures as well. And of course, we always have to keep in mind we're working on epidermal level. So we are not, wrinkles do not disappear with just one treatment. Okay, so it is a slight, you build up on what you did previously for sure, but we do have to communicate with the client. We're not doing fillers.
Right. And how long, excuse me, how long does
Mhm.
sort of each treatment last? Like, how long could I expect to see these results?
It's about 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah. And
perfect.
therefore, we recommend, depending on the depth of the wrinkles, to do 3 every 2 weeks apart, and then just do a maintenance of once a month to 6 weeks. If we are in more of a resort style spa, then definitely perfect event facial for that immediate effect, immediately plumping, not plumbing. Okay. So when we come back to the hydrate one, this one has the highest amount of hyaluronic acid because it doesn't share its space with any other ingredient. So this is pure hyaluronic acid, and this one would be used for just wrinkles where the client has really good skin still when it comes to elasticity wise. They don't have any nasolabial fold showing yet, but they do want the wrinkle reduction around the eyes, on the lips, and so forth. Then hydrate would be the perfect head to choose. And in our brightening one here, we have vitamin C in it as well. And interesting enough is that we have the actual ascorbutglucoside vitamin C in here, which is the most potent and most active form of vitamin C. Unfortunately, usually it's very hard to formulate. So that's why in skincare creams and serums, it is really hard to find that version because it's so hard to formulate with. But because our pins are like a dry formulation, we are really able to use it. Once it is in the skin, the enzymes and everything else is working with that version. And the brightening one, it gives an immediate glow. It can be used for hyperpigmentation. However, when it comes to hyperpigmentation, it really has to be a series of at least 4 or 5, depending on the severity of hyperpigmentation. And then, of course, it depends on what the clients do at home, which is almost more important than that one facial that they get here and there. But definitely for the glow, and helps with sun damage, is a great antioxidant, of course. And also vitamin C is used for collagen production. So we have that benefit from here as well. Now, when it comes to acne scarring, enlarged pores, we have to be a little bit more invasive. So that's why we have a non-dissolving version, which is the performance, and it's made out of biodegradable polylactic acid. I think it's the material also that plastic surgeons use for the threads that they insert into the cheeks to lift up the skin. So it degrades over time, but needs a really, really long, long time. And also these are only 0.25. So this is true microchanneling without any wrinkle filling, just to increase the permeability and absorption or bioavailability of the serums that you want to use.
And this is still safe to use in the resort and hotel spa markets or a day spa market that might not, might want to have some medical type treatment to offer their clients, but not necessarily a med spa, correct?
Correct, yes. Because also here we do not have any steel or titanium. In most states, the state boards are really restricting the material used because with steel or titanium, it is even more invasive than with our polylactic acid. So yeah, definitely okay to use.
Fantastic.
Mhm. I just wanted to show a little bit the difference also visually in a picture. So with the insoluble microneedles, we create these channels vertically into the skin to increase absorption, but that's it. There is no other benefit to it. With well, other than, creating collagen over time, of course. Then with our soluble microneedles, we do create the same channel, but we also have the wrinkle filling effect because the hyaluronic acid is merging into the wrinkle where the moisture is.
I like that a lot.
Thanks. And then, of course, as I said, I'm all science-based, so I do love efficacy studies where it's not about 90 women said, out of 100, but where there is an actual device measuring the effect. So we compared different penetration ways. Of course, A would be injection, which we're not allowed to do. We're not dealing with that at all. If we just apply product, it goes either through the hair shaft or penetrates through the lamellar kid, which takes a long, long time. And not all of the product gets into the deeper skin layer on time. So we create these channels. And here you can see the top of the skin, okay? And then this is the epidermis going in here. And what we did is we took a water-based serum, marked it with a fluorescence marker to make it visible, like the penetration into that little tiny skin area. And this is the little area that you can see here. And we just applied product and then looked at what happens after 4 hours. And as you can see, most of the product is still on top. With a hand treatment, which means if you would take our device without a tapping motion. So our device has a tapping motion that pushes the hyaluronic pins into the skin vertically. If you don't do that, if you would just do it manually or in roller form, we have that as well for clients at home, then we do have some channels created, which you can see here, and penetration is much better, but it's still not very even and in huge amount of product penetration. But with the tapping treatment, which is our Epipen Pro, you can see all the serum is really in the deeper skin layers here of the epidermis.
That's
And it's
incredible.
about 80% of the serum is already in there.
Wow. And that results after 4
4
hours of
hours.
treatment
Mm-hmm.
is that relative to your series? Or is that when you really start to see, like, where you're really starting to see the deep penetration um, after 4 hours, or 4 hours from when you first received the treatment?
Yeah. No, so it starts right away.
Okay.
Okay. It's just like after 4 hours, most of it is really penetrated. And that's why we say the first 4 hours after the facial, just don't apply anything that could interfere with it. Like any silicones or makeup,
Makes sense. Makes
you
sense.
know. Yeah. And of course, this is a stretched out view. The area that was treated here is really just very, very small, but it would all look like a green blur if we wouldn't stretch it out. Okay.
That's really cool.
Mhm. So this is our device over here. It's very small. It can be carried around really easily, very light. Also, the handle, when you hold it, it doesn't affect the wrist of the esthetician. It's very easy to do. There are 5 tapping speeds. I usually go always on number 5, unless you have clients that are very sensitive to touch, then you would do it maybe on a 3. But other than that, 5 is really a good speed. You do not have to touch the head. That's something that I really like too, because usually if you have a microneedling device, you have to kind of screw it in there and have to, make sure that you're not touching the needle. And so this, you just open the pod and then you push the handle in and are ready to go. They are sterile, and we have a 2-year warranty on the machine.
This is so cool. I'm loving this. This is
Yes.
fascinating technology. And I'm super into technology. I think a lot of us are into it and have never really been able to have it in our spas before. Again, for those that are not med spa based, and so this is just it's fascinating new technology and simple. It looks like
Yes.
it's easy to use, and that's also really important, particularly in the resort and hotel environment. That we need things that are easy to use for our professionals who are you know, on a time frame, and
Hmm.
you know, turning over treatment rooms from one guest to another, and each guest has to experience the same sense of sort of relaxation. And this seems like, you know, like, you know, just about anybody could use it. Of course, a licensed professional.
Right. Yes. Yes. And also, it is when we talk about time, it only takes about 10 minutes
Wow.
to do. Yes. So you can definitely do in 1 hour facial with this. No problem at all.
So an enhancement option, perhaps,
As
to
well.
one of your
Yes.
other facials. Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah, you can add it to any facial.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and then when we talk about more of the like before and after pictures that I mentioned before. So here are the before and afters of a clinical study that was conducted in a hospital. And we did this here twice a week for 4 weeks. And as you can see, so this is subject A. Um, you can see not just the wrinkles here, but also you see that puffiness under the eye. So 2 weeks later, this is gone. And of course, a client to come in two times a week is a little tough. So, but here they didn't perform a whole facial. They just did the dry channeling, a little bit of a serum, and then the filling part. And I have seen estheticians, or yeah, they sent me pictures all the time, and I see it go from here to actually here within one facial.
That's amazing.
Hmm. And that's because we do exfoliation, dermaplaning could be used beforehand, a mild AHA. And then afterwards, which I didn't have in here right now, is our amazing sheet mask, which covers face and neck. So that would be applied after the wrinkle filling part. And on top of the sheet mask, you could actually do microcurrents. It is so conducting. And that again is a time saver too. Um,
Time saver, or you could incorporate all of these incredible things into one amazing ultimate signature, you know,
mhm.
80-minute facial, for example, and really
Yes.
just you know, have people come out with these incredible results right after one treatment.
Right. Yeah. And that's another thing that was important for us is that you can create a lot of or use other modalities with it too. Yeah. And then with the sheet mask, I just have to talk about that real quick one more time, is we have a golden sheet that goes on top of the sheet mask. When you apply a sheet mask, it gets really cold after a time and it's not comfortable. So the gold is reflecting the body temperature and then keeps the customer really comfortable and cozy. And also, of course, anytime we, create a little bit of warmth, the penetration of those ingredients are increased as well.
Sign me up.
Mhm.
Like now.
Yeah. And then, of course, subject B, we have the same result. And I think, yeah, I have the other one. This one here is before and after 10 minutes with our hydrate tip. So
Amazing.
you
Wow.
definitely, yeah. It's really nice. And of course, when you concentrate on certain areas, the less like the smaller the area, the better. If you have to do forehead and eyes and lips, then you have to distribute that 37 milligrams to all of these areas. But if you only do it just around the eyes or just the upper lip, it's really a quick, nice plumping effect there.
Amazing. It's just
Yeah, here's some more before and afters. Um, this is a spa in Georgia, and she sent it to me super excited. So this is her client before her first Epifusion facial and then right after.
that
And
is my jaw is dropping. That is
yes,
amazing.
yes, mine was too when I saw it. And I asked her, I said, what did you do? Now she was using the anti-age or anti-age serums, the human stem cells with this.
Oh, correct. Okay.
Yeah. So those are really amazing. Also, factor 5 is another stem cell that works really well with it too. But this is really impressive. And then she came back 2 weeks later, and you can see the before is still much better than the first before.
Hmm.
And
That's the
that's really
same
because,
person. This is the
yes,
same
that's the
person?
same
Oh,
person.
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it's because we accumulate hyaluronic acid in the epidermis. You know, the more often you do it on top of each other, the better the effect. And I just got, I don't know if I have them in here yet. No, I don't. But I do have actually also pictures that show before and after 5 treatments. And
Amazing.
this lady had enlarged pores, acne scars, and hyperpigmentation from picking. And after 5 treatments, it's all smooth and even.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
It was really amazing. Well, you'll get to share that with all the people that are going to reach out to you after listening in on this and
Hmm.
these, before and after results, and want to see, the one you're just speaking of after 5 treatments. And I mean,
Yes.
be silly not to partner with EpiStep, that's for sure.
Yes, and if you go on our, on our Instagram, we have those pictures shared there as well. So everything is under EpiStep Epidermal Care. We do also have a YouTube channel where you can see videos of how the facial looks like. I have an instructional video, but mainly I always train every spa and every esthetician on how to do that. And then if they wanted to review, they could always use the YouTube channel to do that. Um, for sure. Yeah.
Amazing. This was so fun. I mean,
Yes.
I always
And
love
it's
doing
short
these.
and crisp.
I always love doing these. I always learn something new from everybody. But this was fun because I didn't. I certainly have been learning more about you and this particular and EpiStep for ever since you joined the association. But this was really enlightening, and I am very intrigued, and my wheels are already turning. Like, I can already see you in certain spas for sure that I know would be very interested in this. So, this was incredible. Thank you so much for your time
Thanks.
today.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I'm excited to come to the event too, in
Yes.
Denver and
Yeah, so
show
Jennifer is
everybody.
going to join us in at our last event of 2022, which is in Denver, Colorado. So if you are going to be in the area or are from the area on November 17, check out our website, go to our events page, and you can RSVP there. We are more than halfway to being to our sold out mark already, which is quite early for us for most of our events historically. So if you do want to come and you want to see the EpiStep, EpiFusion in person and meet Jennifer in person, most definitely RSVP for that right away to secure your spot because this event will sell out and I'm certain we'll probably end up on a wait list. But yeah, it's so excited for this. This is cool. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up for today?
Maybe one thing,
Yeah.
I get always the question, how is it possible to use hyaluronic acid to form a pyramid? And it's mostly because when we think of hyaluronic acid, we think of serums, and we think that hyaluronic acid is a liquid. But hyaluronic acid is biotechnology produced by bacteria, and it's a powder form. And when you mix, and you can change the viscosity of it with the amount of water that you add. If you don't add a lot of water, it becomes a very thick and rigid paste.
Interesting.
And that's, yes.
I didn't know that.
So I'm thinking I might take hyaluronic acid with me to Denver, and then we can
Yeah.
mix it, and then you can see, because it's really kind of hard to grasp how that is possible. But
Yeah.
it's a very rigid material, hyaluronic acid.
That I never knew that. I mean, and
Mhm.
I've been using hyaluronic acid, which, topically for sure. And of course
Mhm.
with, it's in a lot of treatments these days and certainly over the last several, last decade or so. And I love it. But I never realized what
Mhm.
type of material it actually was. That's a little surprising. I would love for you to bring some hyaluronic
Okay,
acid
yes,
to
I will
Denver.
do
That'd
that.
be cool. That'd be very, very cool for
Okay.
for at your table for each of, for the attendees, for the activations would be really neat. Yeah,
Yes,
fascinating.
I will do so.
Wonderful. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. So for those of you that are interested in learning more, Jennifer's information, of course, is listed here. You can certainly reach out to her anytime, 24/7. Not that she'll respond 24/7. She is getting her rest nightly, I do hope. And
Yeah,
but certainly reach out as it moves you, and to learn more. And definitely check her out on social media. Check out our YouTube channel. I can't say enough. This is really neat, and I wish this company so much success. And I love that you're kind of new in this marketplace. I think it's
thank you.
providing something very unique and different to our market, and I think you guys are going to do quite well.
Thank you
I'm
so much,
excited to
Holly.
see where it goes. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. And for those of you that listen in, thank you as well. And we hope to see you at one of our events this year, and wish you a wonderful Thursday and a great upcoming weekend.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye bye.